Tonight, if you want to know what to do if you were stopped by police, there are situations many of us will someday encounter.
You're driving along, suddenly you see the flashing lights of a police car in your rearview mirror, or maybe you're among a crowd when things start to get out of control and police swarm in. Eyewitness
News anchor Danielle North takes a closer look at your rights and responsibilities if you ever confronted by police. It's a story you'll see only on Eyewitness News.
An encounter with police. It can be stressful and unpleasant. Your mind races thinking about what you may have done wrong. But there are things that you can do to make sure that your encounter is short and to the point.
You've either been there or it's likely someday you will. You're driving and suddenly you're being pulled over for some kind of violation. So what do?
You should look for a safe area to pull over into. Pull over to the right, usually always to the right. Look for a safe area. Not only for your protection, but also for the officer's protection.
We had an East Providence police officer pull us over to demonstrate what you should expect during a traffic stop.
The officer's going to approach you, and his demeanor should be, and usually will be, in a courteous, friendly type manner, and we expect the same. I mean, if you give us an attitude, it's probably not going to help you out.
Sergeant Gardner says if police have reason to believe that criminal activity is taking place, they can do a pat-down for safety purposes, or they can even ask to search your car. The cardinal rules to remember: if you're ever stopped in your car, pull over as soon as it's safe to in a well-lit area. Keep your hands on the wheel. Only reach for your information when you're asked to and not before. You are allowed to ask the officer why you're being pulled over. And in the case an officer suspects you're under the influence, you won't be required to submit to field sobriety tests, although penalties will apply.
There's one of two ways.
Local attorney Nicholas Heeman says the other time you're most likely to encounter a police officer when you're part of a large crowd, maybe at a protest or exiting a nightclub or other venue. If things get rowdy, here's what to remember. Remain calm and follow the officer's instructions.
If you resist, if you try to fight these battles on the street, if you say to a police officer, I know my rights, I don't have to do that, I mean, you're almost assuredly going to be arrested.
Whether it's a traffic stop or some other type of encounter, if you feel you've been wronged by police, Heeman stresses that's not the time or the place to settle things.
The Supreme Court, in their words, the place to fight that is in the courtroom, not in the streets. And that's for everyone's safety, and that's for a more orderly process as well.
And both police and attorneys tell us that you can make any experience with law enforcement a lot smoother if you have the proper documentation with you. If you're in the car, have it in your visor or your glove compartment, and always make sure your ID is up to date. I'm Danielle North, Eyewitness News.